Let's talk a little bit about building people up. You know, I've noticed that my own self-esteem skyrockets when I try to build other people up. And I inquire into why is this the case? And it's simply just because you get what you give. You know, if you're putting out negativity in the world, you're going to feel negative about yourself. But the same thing goes with being positive. And, don't be biased about who you're positive to. I think a lot of us, for example, it's easy to give a compliment to a woman or, to tell them they're beautiful or whatever. But I feel like a lot of men don't receive enough assurance in the same manner of letting your friend know they look handsome today, they look sharp. I think for men especially, we're not built up. It's more like man up, right? But that's just a side note that I thought of as well. Is I've noticed that at least a bias in myself where men will sway away from giving each other compliments, and building each other up. I could be wrong about this, but that's what I've experienced. Whereas, with women, it's going to be easier to just, tell them hey, you look beautiful today, or I love your dress, or whatever, right? But to tell a guy hey, I like your style, I like your watch, you're looking sharp today, whatever. But anyways, I noticed that it takes a certain amount of strength to even just to build people up. It takes a certain amount of self-esteem to be able to give love to others, to be able to give others a lift up. Especially when they are competing in your own domain, when they're competing in your same domain. You see, it demonstrates strength when you're able to lift other people up that are in the same competitive space that you are in. Have you noticed that? Where there's this tendency to become jealous and even put others down that are in our domain because we feel threatened by them, right? Especially if they look like they came from a very similar upbringing than us or a very similar situation than us, and they're making it and they're more successful than us right now. It can be very tempting to demonize them. But what I'm saying here is that it comes from you're gonna have way more strength and develop way more strength if you manage to find it in your heart to actually lift them up as well, right? And it's interesting. I've noticed just this very practical aspect of this is that when I give positivity, I feel that positivity immediately. Sometimes it's more fun to give someone a positive note than it is for that person to receive it. Because then that positivity is just generated. And you reap the benefits of it. You reap the benefits of giving. And so I found that very interesting. Sometimes giving gifts is way more fun than getting gifts. It's finding, a creative way to show your love for someone. And I don't just mean in a romantic way. I mean in a, in a brotherhood way. Or there's other ways of love. I mean, showing appreciation for others, right? Showing your respect for the relationship you have with others, right? Strengthening that relationship. I notice when I go out clubbing to practice being funny, practice socializing, The best nights is when I just am the most positive to everybody. And I notice like my state is like way better when I'm most positive to everybody. I'm giving everybody compliments, giving the guys compliments, the girls. Just really trying to lift everyone up, trying to empower everyone that's in there to make them feel good. Because when I make other people feel good, I feel good. And so notice that. And wherever you can, lean into trying to give someone positivity. Maybe it's especially when it's not something typically done in your relationship. That can be a new welcome addition. And that'll actually make it mean more if it's never been done before or hasn't been done very much. Because then that will be something different, something new, a catalyst. So, think about that one. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.